few books of poetry, as you can see, and I really couldn't select any poem that would be my absolute favorite in English, at least. So I selected basically just what came to mind first, what I've been lately reading, and I've been reading, I found this in the bookstore. I've read other collections from the library earlier, but this is collected poems, so it has everything. I selected from this, I love Lewis Carroll's poems, but especially the one that he wrote to Alice Little, the girl who is actually Alice. This poem is also, it's been made into a sort of song by one of my favorite bands, Omnia. It's a Dutch band. They do this kind of neo-Celtic pagan folk music, and they have a couple of CDs that have a lot of, for example, poems and Lewis Carroll, and I think Tolkien was on it too, but anyway, a lot of poems from famous poets, and the prologue to True Looking Glass, I will try to read it to you now. Child of pure unclouded brow and dreaming eyes of wonder, though time be fleet and I and thou are half a life asunder, thy loving smile will surely hail the love gift of a fairy tale. I have not seen thy sunny face, nor heard thy silver laughter. No thought of me shall find a place in thy young life's hereafter. Enough that now thou wilt not fail to listen to my fairy tale. A tale begun in other days when summer suns were glowing, a simple chime that served to time the rhythm of our rowing, whose echoes live in memory yet, though envious ears would say, forget. Come, hearken then, ere voice of dread, with bitter tidings laden, shalt summon to unwelcome bed a melancholy maiden. We are but old children, dear, who fret to find our bedtime near. Without the frost, the blinding snow, the storm wind's moody madness, within the firelight's ruddy glow, and childhood's nest of gladness. The magic words shall hold thee fast, thou shalt not heed the raving blast. And though the shadow of a sigh may tremble through the story, for happy summer days gone by and vanished summer glory, it shall not touch with breath of veil the pleasance of our fairy tale. That's one of my favorites. And then also last summer I went to, for the past 3 summers I've been to Hay Festival, and I'm going to this year as well. I'm not quite sure if there are any poets that we are going to go and listen to, but anyway, met Gillian Clark, who is a Welsh poet, and she's just a wonderful, a really sweet person, and I don't know, her poems are not really her poems are more for reading by yourself and not reading aloud. Caroline Duffy, the Poet Laureate of Britain, was there as well, and her poems are more, I like her as well, but her poems are more like you can get the whole point during the reading. Of course, when you read it again, you get more out of it, but Gillian Clark is more one of those that you just need to read by yourself. I usually read aloud when I read poetry because it just sounds better. But I found actually she told us when we met her and told her that we are from Finland. She told us she had been to Turku, which is in the southwest of Finland on the coast there, and my family, part of my family, my cousins and uncles and aunts live there. And I don't know, this poem sort of captures something of the miracle that it is really, that my country Finland really is. It's weird that someone Welsh has to say it, but I don't know, I just love her words. And she said that she had been in Turku in the winter and gone to the sea ice, and the poem is called Baltic. The air is white and dense, where fishermen dip their hooks in the black silence, and it's hard to believe in islands half a mile away in the mist, the delicate archipelago of the map. 6 posts step out to sea, ice-locked where water laps in summer, and boats waltz on their slack ropes. Small salt smells, fish, bird cries locked in the sea's cellar, and land under wraps. You can drive to Sweden, they tell me, or catch the post for Stockholm halfway over. Trying to believe it, I walk on the sea, out between the posts until I'm lost in whiteness, wondering, without a bird's talent for magnetism, how I'll know the way. And yes, I'm from the West Coast. Actually, at the moment I'm also on the West Coast, but I'm in the north. But I'm from the closest part of the coast to Sweden. I know that you can actually walk to Sweden or ski to Sweden. At least you could when I was a child. But nowadays the winters are so warm that you probably can't anymore. And then one more poem. I've been raised on poems. I really couldn't live without them. Kirsi Kunnas is a Finnish poet. She's now 90 years old, and it's a sort of like we do read nursery rhymes in Finland as well, and in the same nursery rhymes they've been translated that for example in Britain you read, I've studied nursery rhymes in the university, but anyway, Kirsi Kunnas, and especially this book, as you can see, it's a bit of a dead book. Not dead because it will never be gotten rid of, but this Tiitiäisen Sautopuu is one of those books that most of Finnish children are familiar with if their parents read to them. So if they don't, they should. But it's just, we have read this book so many times through, and I know these poems by heart. And it's she writes, Kirsi Kunnas writes also poems to adults, but I always loved her children's poetry because it's not just for children. For example, this really lovely poem about troll. Well, trolls in Finland, they're not really like big and ugly, but they're this sweet little elvish types. And this small troll runs around and around the bogs and tries to find a moon to hang on his home tree, and he just can't catch the moon, and finally he goes back home to his own hole under the tree roots, and then he sees that the moon is there waiting, hanging on the top of his fur. So it's really cute when you're a child, and it's sort of, you start to get it. And but I will read one of these more onomatopoeic poems that her poetry is sort of, she writes nonsense poems as well, like, well, basically this one, it's a children's poem, so it can be, but anyway, this was mine and my brother's favorite poem when we were children, and since you are now, you can't otherwise see the beautiful pictures, I will try to get to you here. So that, and of course you have to have a dragon when you read poetry too. Actually, it's a new dragon because it just came to me when I turned 32. It's usually when you get a really cool Smaug crochet from your friends. So I've been reading a lot of poetry today. Also to my cat, but she usually just runs away. But here we go. So this is the page that we are going, and as I said, it's a nonsense poem, and it's about a kettle, or not a kettle, but a pot and some potatoes, and it's just about how the potatoes boil, and how the first how the pot feels, and then how the potatoes feel. So, kattila ja perunat. Oi, olen aivan höyrypäinen, ihan kiehun ja sihisen, kuin sähikäinen, sanoi kattila ja nosti hattua. Psii. Ihan kiehun ja kihisen ja puhisen, pihisen, syljen, sihisen, sähisen, kähisen ja kiukusta rähisen, sanoi kattila ja nosti hattua. Psii. Voi tätä hoppua, 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 huusivat perunat. Voi tätä hoppua, ei tule loppua, loppua, loppua. Polkata täytyy polkkaa, polkata, polkkaa. Kiireistä aikaa, tulta on kenkissä. Laukata täytyy laukkaa, laukata, laukkaa. Ei ole tolkkua millään, ei ole tolkun tolkkua. Kolkata täytyy kolkkaa, kolkata, kolkkaa. Hyvä, jos pysymme hengissä, hengissä, hengissä. Ei tätä hoppua, 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 ei tule loppua. It's basically my childhood, and all the poems in it were from Kirsi Kunnas mostly, and it's just one example of a poem from her. She has various kinds, but that was one of those that my mother used to read to us at night. And yeah, it's really interesting to see what poems other people read, and if there will be anything else in foreign languages. I would have read to you some of Wisława Szymborska, who is actually probably one of my favorite poets, but I only have her poems in Finnish, and she's Polish, and I don't have anything in English, and it would really be the object, so I won't read anything from her. I will also link the band and their CD, or write it down, I don't know if I have a link, and then also put a couple of links to some poems if you want to read more of my favorite poems. I have a really fast taste in poems, as you can probably see. But yeah, bye!